Hi everyone, John here from the WATCHMAN'S Mantle. This is another Take 5 Friday. We're going to be taking a look at Mark chapter 16, and we're going to start in verse 1. So Mark chapter 16 and verse 1, and basically, like I said in the last video, we're going to take a look at the resurrection accounts in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So this is looking at Mark chapter 16, so the book of Mark. Starting in verse 1. And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Salome, had brought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. And entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were affrighted. And he saith unto them, Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. But go your way, tell his disciples and Peter, that he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him, as he said unto you. And they went out quickly and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed. Neither said they anything to any man, for they were afraid. Now, as I was mentioning a little bit in the last video, the idea that, just the bitterness, the sorrow, the grief that they were facing for these days since he was crucified and then buried, they were going through so much grief and so much pain, and they didn't understand about the resurrection, even though Jesus told the disciples at different times. It was hidden from them, the Bible tells us in other scriptures. And it's just really amazing, because we get the hindsight of what they were experiencing. So, as you're reading the narrative here and understanding, these ladies are living this out as we're reading this, right? We're reading through this. This is what they're living out after all that they've been through. So those are things, as we're getting into the Bible, as we're digging into these things, those are the things that really help us to try to help us better understand by the Bible passages and the things that we're kind of digging into, because there's a nugget of truth here, there's a nugget of truth here, and you're kind of collecting them, and it's like, okay, this is the whole story. So that's why, like I said, we're kind of looking at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and kind of gleaning different things from each of them, and all of them together paint the whole picture, give us the whole story. And I'm going to go on a little bit. I didn't do this in Matthew, but I want to bring out a few things in Mark as we continue reading. Oh, excuse me. In verse 9. Now, when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. Now, that's a truth we're picking up here, that, okay, so he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. So then that kind of gives us a little bit of a picture, a little bit of a glimpse of, okay, so Jesus appeared first to Mary Magdalene. That helps us kind of put together. I've got a Bible study. It's going to be an in-depth one, but I started working on a timeline, and it's going to be long. But anyway, I haven't even really scratched the surface of it. But to me, a timeline really helps to piece things together, so you know where everything kind of fits. Be able to put everything together. All right. So he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. And she went and told them that had been with him, and they mourned, as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not. After that, he appeared in another form unto 2 of them as they walked and went into the country. Now, we're going to look at that next in the book of Luke. Now, since this is a Take 5 Friday, I'm going to wrap up in a few moments here. Verse 13, and they went and told it unto the residue, neither believed they them. And then verse 14, afterward he appeared unto the 11. So this is Jesus appearing to the 11. As they sat at meat, and upbraided them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. So we're just a little bit over 5 minutes, going on 5:30, and I'm just going to wrap this one up, and we're going to look at the book of Luke next. So this is John with the Watchman's Manual. Thanks, and we will see you on the next video.